the boat in trouble. This time, Nomura was able to wriggle off the hook with a minute 30 to go, and now they hold a favored position.
We're not going to have it. They go to it, so it's like the only good thing. Okay, Penny Vodka.
Game here is to get up to full speed. Kayard makes his move first, and he'll be going faster when the gun goes off.
Go down below the line. 20. 17. 14. 13. 4, 3, 2, 1, gun.
Another clean start and another good job by Dellenbaugh.
Well, I guess I'm live. I guess. I don't know. Am I? Am I live? Who knows? I'm just here, right? I'm still here. This is very odd. I'm just here to say that I'm still here. I started this channel to let people know what it's like to be an old, very old, crazy tranny. I really, I really miss my trans sister, Jenny Morgan, who passed away recently, and I'm an old transitioner. But here's the thing. I I was I'm going into my 73rd year, having transitioned, what, Jesus Christ, almost 30 years ago at this point. Um, I'm not, I came here to be a bit of an example of how one can be honest to themselves. Yeah, I can see you, Robin. Like, yeah, I can see you. I was, anyway, back on topic. Um, and I'm glad you're here. I honestly, to be honest, I don't think that I don't think that anyone gives a shit about me at this point. Um, I came here to show how it is possible to be a, to be honest. And what I found what I've found in this crazy YouTube space is that that's not the point of this space. It's not a safe space for one's mental health. Um, I've had arguments with all sorts of people uh, within this space. I really don't think it's a safe space for me. But the safe space for me is the real world. I've tonight was the first night of well, first night of J24 racing, and I did that, um, which was incredibly fun. Eh, and I'll I could go into how sailboat racing is absolutely my passion, has been forever, and I can go into, the fact that, um, jeez, I don't even know how to say this. It's like it's my passion. Yesterday evening, I ran a sailboat race for, uh, 14, 14 sailboats. Yes, this old tranny ran a sailboat race for 14 Etchels. If you all think that you all are my fucking community, you are so fucking wrong. You're so fucking wrong. You're not my community. None of you are. None of you understand. None of you fucking understand what it's like for this old trans woman who has been a professional sailor since the age of 20. None of you understand how difficult it's been to go through transition later in life, in my 40s and going up towards 50. Uh, None of you understand that. None of you get it. None of you will ever get it. But that's not even the fucking point. You It's crazy to me that, that so many people in this so-called community basically, like, one person in this so-called community told me I'd die alone. I would challenge all of you to figure out how you don't die alone, right? It's like it's insane to me that, the incredible toxicity that y'all are willing to put up with, A and, and this may be one of these things, but I just wanna share my joy at the moment, right? I ran a sailboat race for 13 Echelons. This is a community of how many? 13 Echelons? 13, the 13, 14 times, you know, 28 people. I'm sorry, 13 times 4, 52 people. I was like, y'all do the math. I can't even fucking do the math at this point in time. They trust me to run their sailboat race, and you all don't fucking trust me to 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 be honest, right? A whole bunch of people, like, it's like, just don't. Yep. Y'all have your fucking you all have your fucking, uh, parasocial aspects. You think you know me. You don't. I'm not gonna go after any particular individuals here, but this community is just so fucked up. You think you're a community, but you don't listen to one another. You don't. You just fucking don't. I wish you would. I wish you would. I wish it I wish there was a, you know, uh, I wish there was a through line where anything other than clicks and likes and subscribes mattered to you, but you don't. You don't. I don't want anyone to click and like and subscribe to my fucking channel at this point in time. I don't want to play this game anymore because the game I prefer to play is the one I do play week to week. I just started this season. I ran a race for the Etchells last night. I raced a J24 tonight. It's what I do. I will certainly die alone. I absolutely will certainly die alone, as will you all. But I am tremendously convinced that the only community that matters are the ones that we create in real time with the people around us. I'm reminded of the, showing my age, the fire sign theory. You're all a deck of cards. Eat me, drink me, smoke me. It's Alice in Wonderland here. Everything in the news is like, okay, yeah, we can all have uh, our takes on this stuff. But you know what? What really matters is are the people around us. It's like sailing with fire. If you're not into sport, if you're not into sport, that's fine. That's cool. You can do whatever you want, but I can tell you as a person who sailed tonight with 5 people winning another sailboat race, guess what? Those 5 people are far more important to me than any any fucking idiot on YouTube telling me how I ought to be, how I ought to behave, what I ought to do. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, um, that's my little bit of a rant vis-a-vis the YouTube community, so-called. Uh, but I'm kinda here to gloat, to be honest. It's like, "Okay, well, yeah, I've got my people. I've got my people," you know? I got my people in real life, and I'm gonna be okay. Yes, I won. Yes, we won. It was a team effort, and you know what? It makes it is so fucking rewarding over the course of over the course of the past 28 year 28, 30 years, being who I am and being able to be who I am within my community, the one that is all about sailing and sailboat racing, and having people actually appreciate my fucking expertise, that that's makes a whole lot more different a whole that contributes so much more to my life than some idiot on the Internet's opinion of who I am. I don't I don't have to p I don't have to apologize for being who I am to you all. And if you don't like the cut of my jib, that's fine. You do you. But I don't really think that any of the machinations that have been going on mean shit to a tree, because if you don't have a place where people actually give a shit about you in real life, I've said this before, then you're not really engaging. It's like, is it really activism to just sort of wind off on the fucking internet? Or is it actually real activism to live, to show up? Purple, I'm so glad you're here. You know, it's like that. I want you all to understand. I'm not trying to get involved in 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 internet wars. I don't want to be involved in internet wars because in every single internet war I've ever been involved with, and believe you me, I have been involved with several. The latest one is actually the same as the other ones. I have my opinions, I'm not gonna go into 'em. I think I've al I think I've already expressed my own position here, but it's like, Jesus Christ, get over it, people. Be nice to one another, or at least try to figure out how does it play out in real life, right? It's like I've said this before. I would rather be slugged in the face in a bar fight than deal with all of these jackasses on the fucking internet who just want to want to virtually smack each other in the face. It's just idiotic. So I'm here to brag, actually. I'm here to brag. I ran first first Nationals race of the season Tuesday night and first J24 race of the season tonight. We won. I ran the race for those folks, last night. It's like, God damn it. I'm so glad I have something else to think about. Am I pissed that bad things happen to people? Yes, I am. I'm very pissed that bad things happen to people. I think that people ought to reflect on why bad things happen to people and how to prevent bad things happening to people. Absolutely. But that's not anybody's fucking topic in any stream I have seen on any of this shit. It's like, how do we stop this from happening again? Do what it's not a question of what happened and blah, 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 blah. It's like, come on, people. How do we stop this? Don't even make it possible. How do we hold each other? How do we how do we reckon with uh stuff? To me, a whole bunch of this stuff it's all about it's all about, it's all about as ifness. Yeah, purple, that's exactly right, but the thing is, it's like, uh, drama is a real interesting catch because bad shit happens, and it's not the bad shit isn't, you know, isn't necessarily pardon me, I'm gonna cough. The bad shit's not drama. The bad shit is the bad shit. The drama is how do we evaluate the bad shit? And that's what is, you know, that's what's left behind, right? You know, the focus is taken off things that happen, and it all becomes a question of, how to deal with the personalities involved. And at this point, you know, come on, man. Look, I may be being selfish at this point, um, but I've decided that it's not bad to be selfish, right? I'm not this, and believe me, this stream is not. I don't want this stream to be about trauma. I want this stream to be about me. Like, I wanna I'm this stream is about bragging. I'll be honest. I'm not the shy retiring type. I want to brag about winning the race tonight. I wanna brag about the community that I have in real fucking life, and I want younger trans people to know that you can reach the age of 73 and actually have people respect you for the fucking achievements you fucking made. I want that to be fucking on the front page because god damn it, in the world we live in today, it's almost like if you're trans, you're dirt. And I want people to understand that in my community, in my fucking world, in my real fucking world, not in the world of the internet, in my real fucking world, I'm still winning. And I want every fucking trans kid, every fucking trans person to know it is possible to live this life and to get here. Do I n- have Do I have problems? Of course I do. Was I almost homeless? Yes, I was. And when I was almost homeless, somebody in this fucking community told me I was gonna die alone. And just like, "No shit, Sherlock." And I actually gave more credence at that point in time in my life because I was out of work. I had nothing going on. It's like I was literally no money, no nothing. I'm still fucking recovering from that. But somebody in this community literally told me, 73, nearly year old trans woman, you're gonna die alone. I was just like, the fuck? That's your community. That's why I'm stepping away from your community because it ain't no fucking community. There are so many fucking people. I'm sorry, I'm using a lot of fucking swear words. There are so many people around here that think that's okay. That's like okey doke. It's like and my and my yeah, absolutely purple. You know, been homeless, tries to refuse to die. Exactly. You know what? I think that more recognition ought to be given to the fact that you're still there. You're still here. That's what I loved about Jenny. It's like, "Honey, we're still here." That's the fucking bond we had, honestly. It's like, she didn't get enough fucking exposure. Uh, I'm not sure that she even wanted it, to be honest. Um, I have a great deal of fucking, it's like Diana, the lavender lady. It's like, goddamn it, there aren't that many of us, right, who lived through all of that shit. And what do we get on the YouTubes is a bunch of just yada, yada, yada. It is tremendously gratifying to me, and I'm gonna brag again. I have an entire fleet that relies on me to, um, run fair sailboat races. Yeah, exactly. Purple, yeah. You just wanted to be accepted and included, that was all she was looking for. Yeah. Well, that's what we are all looking for, to be honest, in real life. And I think that, at least for me, I feel a lot healthier focusing on that than fucking, "Hey, Big Bad Mama, I've always loved your fucking beer can beer can hairdo." That's always kind of crazy. Jenny Morgan, Equus yeah, you ought to be celebrating my goddamn win. Yeah, it's like, "Yeah, you go, girl." It's like what I'm saying is, at this point, and this is really uh, again, as I said at the beginning of the stream, it's like I started this thing, that my channel, to, uh, focus on the fact that, you can't be trans and have a successful life, and people in the world will actually get around to, accepting you. But that's not where we are now. It just sucks. I would hate to be if I if you know, it's a hell of a lot easier transitioning in 1998 than it would be now. I can't imagine bad how shitty it would be. I don't know. Anyway, I'm kind of losing the track, but I'm just so fucking tired. Like when these internet dust ups occur, so it just happens that everybody loses the goddamn plot. It's like who's getting hurt, who's how blah 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 blah, and I just feel like it's like, okay, I don't care about my channel. I don't care about any of this shit, but, I do care that people get hurt. And, I just I can't put up with the bullshit. I just can't put up with the bullshit. I didn't put up with the bullshit, with the atheist community of Austin, didn't ca put up I haven't put up with the bullshit with any of this stuff, and it's like, I'm done because, I just I don't put up with the bullshit from Jay's channel. I don't put up with the bullshit. I think people need to get around the notion that everything's black and white. I would never have made it this far if I actually decided to cut people off and cut them out of my life because they couldn't wrap their head around of who I am, you know? And people are when running away from me in you know, damn near 30 years ago, right? Uh, when in transition and they've all come back. You don't cut people off. You don't. Just I wish people were kinder. But then again, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. And, I don't see, in this community, I don't see a way out of, the acrimony and this stuff, and it's always been there. It's always been there with it, all of the bullshit on the so-called big channels, which they're not really all that big, and especially, uh, in gonna cough again, especially in the context of the fucking political situation we're sitting in right now. What the fuck? We're living on the precipice of the absolute demise of the American Republic, and we're gonna worry about what? I don't know how people can fucking, um, look for a better future if they don't find a little bit of help in the present, right? A little bit of hope in the present. In other words, if you don't have constructive real world, not internet world, not YouTube world, but real world engagement, and find joy there. You you y y you you're really kind of at a loss. If you're relying on people on the internet to give you validity, you're making a big fucking mistake. That's my those are my takeaways. I'm walking away from this bullshit. I might show up on this channel and talk about my and brag about my sailing accomplishments, but that's about it. And I might show up on this channel and talk about how fucking important it is to actually live and not worry about how you die, and not worry about the motherfucking assholes who tell you how you should die, right? I'm just gonna fucking I'm gonna say what I say, and, I really hope that people hear it because, it's like, go ahead, call me whatever you want. Call me dirty names. But you know what I've got to say to you? Go fuck yourself. Because I won a sailboat race tonight. won the night. We had a 1st and a 4th, right? We were the best boat. I got to sail with I got to sail with, a a fellow who I have known for 50 years. We've been rivals. We sailed on the same boat for the first time, and it was so much fun. It was just so much fun. It's like okay, you wanna hear about the look, I can talk about sailboat racing, right? I can talk about how that, I can talk about how that shit works. It is okay, I'm gonna just go off into my passion. Why sailboat racing is the most zen sport there is. Okay. Sailboat racing is you need to have some fundamental skills, and, you need to understand your equipment. It's a very equipment-dependent sport. Different boats behave differently, and you need to understand how that happens, how that works. But the game itself is all about well, it's kind of about geometry because what you've got, what the game is to get to the game is to get to the is to get to a mark that is set directly upwind, and you can't sail directly upwind. It's like boats don't do that. You have to sail off the wind and then a little bit off the wind, and then you get to a top mark, and then you go downwind. You can go directly at the downwind mark, but going upwind, you can't do that. You have to tack, and the whole thing is about how's the wind gonna shift? Where are the people in the fleet? How do you cover all these people? It's a very complicated game. It's like playing chess on a boat on a board that's moving all the time. And your moves, your each one of your pieces moves is constrained by the shifting of the wind. There's no particular move that's gonna work. It's a really complicated game. It's really, really it's difficult to play, but it is a game, and, it's really challenging and really fun to figure out, um, and some people are really good at it. I'm one of them. I'm actually pretty good at it. I've won a number of, championships. I've sailed on a number of championship teams. I've competed in world championships and finished in the top 10. It it's it's difficult. Actually, my best sailing was done after transition, to be honest, and that's because I could actually be me. Equus, it's a yeah, it would I sailed J24s and Etchells. I've sailed on a lot of boats. I've sailed on tons of boats. Uh but the boat I sail most commonly is a J24, which is a sloop, one mast. Um, it's like, okay, it's like I'm I'm wearing this shirt, Morris 42X Ranger. That was a that was a boat that was so cool to sail on because the entire crew was professional. The guy who owned the boat was the CEO of Bristol-Myers Squibb. It's like, okay, guy's a billionaire. Yeah, a tranny sailed with a brilliant billionaire, right? It's like, I'm gonna fuck you. Go fuck yourself. All y'all, go just step off my fucking lawn. If you're good in your life, if you do your shit, it don't matter what some fucking dickhead on the internet has to say about you. Just go do it, you know? Just get off the goddamn turn the YouTube off. Or if you're not gonna turn the YouTube off, pay attention to the fucking fascists who are fucking doing this stuff, and if you have a fucking, opportunity to interact with the fascists, express your opinion, right? That's one of the greatest fucking gifts in my life, is I that now I'm not saying that the people I've sailed for are fascists, but god damn it, some of them are in definitely in Epstein class, at least at that financial level, and, I felt really fucking fortunate to be able to have conversations. One of the most, uh one of the most fortuitous ones was, back in, when the fuck was it? 2018. Was it 2018? I think it was. The first time that, that Trump proposed, um, the first Trump administration proposed, um, writing into the Federal Register language that said that, sex was immutable and determined at birth, and, therefore, all ID is, is that's where it is. Now, I had the opportunity to talk to the gentleman who was at the time the chairman, or the treasurer of the Republican National Committee, who is a gentleman that I have known since 1970 fucking 9. Mm, ran into him at a regatta in Annapolis, Maryland, and I said to him, "We've known each other for a very long time. Do you think this makes any fucking sense?" He said, "No, that shit didn't go down. That shit didn't go down." I don't know if my words had anything to do with it, but I was in a position to do something, and I did something, and I did it in the real fucking world, not on the goddamn internet. They couldn't get that shit through in the first Trump administration. They kept it on the books, they were gonna do it, they just never got around to it. And now, you know, the everything's gone off the rails, right? It's become a big fucking deal. Marjorie Taylor fucking Greene, for uh, 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 all of her all of her anti-Trump stuff, still hates the trainees, right? That's the thing. I don't know why. I have no idea why that would even be the case. But it's like, okay, I guess everybody's gotta hate somebody. Thing that sucks is, like, there's no turning around absolute stone bigots. But at the time in 2018, there was some turning around people that had had their fucking hands on the purse strings. It's hard. This bullshit's hard. I mean, I don't know. I'm rambling at this point in time, but it's like, I'm just saying, I'm an old woman, seen a lot of shit, and I ain't putting up with shit anymore. Not from assholes on the internet, right? I'm not from assholes who basically say, "I'm never gonna let you forget blah, 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 blah." It's like, I don't care. Go pound sand. I don't get my fucking validation from anybody in this so-called community. I don't. I thought I did at one point in time, and I was mistaken. All of y'all, please don't buy the fucking bullshit that this fucking so-called community has to offer in whatever sector you are involved in, okay? I'm being ecumenical here. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Just don't get involved. Just walk away. Find fucking meaning in your life. Find fucking community in your community, right next door. Talk to your neighbors. Roll a bone. Share some weed. Go to a bar, go sailing, go to a fucking gym, do something. Don't do it here because this is all bullshit. 100% bullshit. It's a fucking in some arenas, it's a money-making machine. In other arenas, it's an ego boosting machine. I have more respect for the money-making machine than I do for the ego boosting machine. I really do, honestly, because guess what? At least those guys know what the fucking deal is. Sorry, purple. Yeah, it's like, alright. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Look, I don't wanna hold you guys for any longer because I started this, what, at 11:30 and now it's 12:30. It's been an hour, and I'm rambling a bit, but I just, please, 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 if you like what I have to say, tune in the next time I stream, but please don't feel any obligation to to boost this channel. I don't care. I honestly don't. It's I felt like going on air tonight just basically to say, "Woohoo! I won a sailboat race. First weekend, first racing of the season, and yeah, this is really cool." And it was really cool. It really was. So, for those of you uh, uh, who want to follow, the 2026, sailboat racing season in the Gulf of Maine, tune in again. I'll see you here. I might show up, who the hell knows? Um, but I'll let you know. Yeah, exactly, but she's yeah, my I'm talking in purple here. It's like, yeah, green does have an ideological perspective. Yes, she's a grifter. Everybody in politics is a grifter, or in some way or in some manner or fashion, or most of them are. I'm not, personally, I'm a fan of the people that want to turn off that spigot. And but okay. So I talked in an earlier stream, in 2 earlier streams on this channel about communities of trust. And I do think that in the context of current politics, um, that's what's been destroyed. Or, and what we need to do is to rebuild communities of trust. Um, how we do that, I'm not really sure. And 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 it's one of those things that at my in I lived through the civil rights movement. I lived through the Vietnam War. I got tear gassed in DC in 1969. Um, watching the National Guard on the tops of buildings as we were marching, um, with their fucking rifles aimed at the crowd. It's like, this isn't, it's not. I've seen lots and lots of bad times. And, the whole the narrative of a hippie culture, there's a great, documentary on Laurel Canyon, the whole peace, love, and rock and roll stuff. It's like, god damn, we were so young and naive. But the young and naive part is like, okay, communities of trust. How do we when they are violated, when they disappear, how do they get rebuilt? And it's really fucking hard to do that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. As people change a great deal, or humanity changes a great deal. We all want to build teams rather than building communities of trust. I mean, I think it was a real, it was an effort there was an effort to there are always times when there are efforts to build communities of trust. It's like we can agree to disagree, that kind of thing. It's like, okay, yeah, but what's the ultimate outcome? Do we want to be at war with one another? Do we want to figure out a way of living together? Problem is that there are there come there comes a time when if you want to totally eradicate my you know, if your position is that my human experience is invalid, I'm gonna have a problem with that, right? It's like, that's a violation of trust. So how do you it's very, very difficult to build a bridge across that divide. I mean, live and let live would be fine if live and let live works for you and I, but these people over here, they need to die. That's not good. Oh god, yes, Equus, or I should say Equus. I think that's the proper pronunciation. Oh, yeah. Uh, Not much was known in 1974, even less was known in the 1950s when I grew up, you know? It was a really it's really kind of fucking funny for me, um, one of the things that really, um, motivated me to get involved is, and speak out in this space is like trans kids. I was a trans kid. I was a trans kid in 19 fucking 50s, in the 1950s. It was hard. So, anywho, I'm gonna drop that thing. I just want to celebrate some victories and, let you all know I'm still here. I'm not dead yet, and, you know, I I hope you won't I hope you won't think I'm a total dickhead, but you know, I'll be around. I just don't feel like fighting a whole bunch of fucking wars right now when I have sailing to do, you know? So anyway, good night. I appreciate you all being here and, tune in again if the spirit moves. I'll, talk to you later. Bye.